Coach, can you start by just kind of giving us a little bit of a overview of how the bye week practices went for the defense?
You know, we got back to the basics, back to the fundamentals early on in the week. Had a lot of individual and just a lot of technique work early, and then as the week progressed, we start getting into a little bit more martial preparation.
Darian just told us that at some point after the LSU game, you guys made the decision, at least for film work, to get everybody in the same room instead of individual units doing their film work on their own, getting everybody in the same room.
Just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, so we all see how each one of us jobs affects the other, And I think a lot of times when you work individually, you just work on your segment and just, when it pertains to your room. But then all of a sudden, when you get everybody together, they get to see, okay, well, if you jump out of your gap, it affects this player. Then all of a sudden, he does something different and it affects this player. So just making sure that everybody's on the same page. It was a good week for that.
Was the gaps problem, was that why they were getting the long runs?
They had the, no, one of them was gapped out. We just didn't execute the play, to be honest with you. Then, a couple of them were some long passes. So it was just making sure that everybody sees, like we don't get to the pass rusher and we give the quarterback more time than he needs to throw the ball, or, if the linebackers don't fit correctly. It was just an overall awareness as a defense of how each one of us affect the other. And that's really what the whole message was pretty much for the week for that.
You feel like you'll do that more going forward, having the whole team, the whole defense in one room?
Yeah, we definitely probably do that a lot more going forward. We've done that before, just not as much as we did that, at that time. It was just something that probably needed to be done at that, at that point.
Do you think that'll create more conversation among players, talking amongst each other when they pretty much know better what everyone's assignments are?
Yeah, I think it'll bring more awareness to everybody. If they screw up, they know who they affected in that. And I think that'll be better for us in the long run. I really do.
Coach, were you able to use this bye week to potentially create some competition out there with some guys?
Yeah, we definitely did. But for us, every day to me is competition. Just because you earned a spot early on, you still got to continue to earn it. It's not nothing is given to us. Nothing is given to us on the field. Nothing is given to us in life. You got to earn everything that you get. So there's definitely some open competitions last week, and we'll see what happens on Saturday.
What's Marshall looking like coming in here? Over the years they've been known for throwing the ball every which way. Are they still kind of doing that? Or
Still very similar.
Gotcha.
They are a spread football team. They get to a lot of 11 personnel looks, but with that 11 personnel on the field, they do a lot of different stuff out of that. So they're definitely, throwing it on the yard. They have some really good, talented receivers. I think they have 4 really good receivers. A really good running back, and the quarterback is a very good football player. When you look at them on film, to be honest with you, it doesn't really look like like their record. It looks like they're putting up a lot of points, putting up a lot of yards. And I only watch one side. I ain't watching both sides. So the side that I see a very talented football team. So we're gonna have to come to play on Saturday for sure.
Are they more passing, more running?
I would say they're probably a little bit heavier passing team. They still run the ball pretty well though. More of your traditional zone schemes and all that kind of stuff. Your traditional spread football, but they definitely, like I said, probably throw the ball a little bit more, but they run the ball pretty well.
Coach Hobson said that Draper Riley was going to be back close to 100% this game. Do you see him factoring in a bigger role
Definitely.
From here on out?
Definitely. It's going to be good to get finally a bigger body inside. I think that'll help us out in the long run for sure. And it just brings me more depth. Draper's a really good football player. And, we missed him for half the season. It was good to get, he got a lot of playing time last week versus LSU. And then now this week, hopefully from here on out, this 5-game stretch, he's ready to go.
I know, especially as coaches, you guys don't like to look past the next opponent. But with the way things played out in Conference USA over the weekend, you guys are back to kind of controlling your own destiny in the sense that you went out, you won the West. How does that enter into your mind frame?
For me personally, and when I'm going to preach a defense, it doesn't. because you gotta look at the now, you know, the now is beating Marshall. And that's really the only thing that matters, because you start looking ahead, all of a sudden, you that's how you slip up. You know, the only thing that matters to me at all is the herd. So we're gonna put all our focus into that, really focus on, like we said, you know, kind of last week, our job is to get to 1-0 this week, you know? And that's the only thing that we're gonna even talk about.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you, guys.